TheCo's.com and D20Radio.com. They came from the game table, dice bags in hand.
We have one brain that we share between us.
To talk about role-playing for all across the land.
How'd you like it?
The original, then basic, then one they scoured.
Kinda grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it?
To bring AD&D to the second power.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn AD&D 2nd edition podcast ever.
No, just got the PDFs.
Yeah.
They are on my hard drive somewhere, I guess.
Yeah,
anyway.
I have them. I know exactly where they are.
Oh, okay. Anyway, talking about that. Hiya, folks. Old Man Grognard and the crew.
The Gamer Nation!
That's the new show, name of the show. Old Man Grognard and the crew. You know, it's
Glen
like
and
Gilligan's.
Friends, right?
Yeah, well.
Somebody check him for a fever.
Either way, you get demoted in Gilligan's Island too, and the rest.
Yeah, and the rest. Yeah, exactly.
No, this is Splatbook 146 at THACO's Hammer. See, I can even get that. I can even get that wrong.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
This is Splatbook 161 at THACO's Hammer. I'm GM Glenn, and that's GM Brian being absolutely gobsmacked.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, you must have some coronavirus or something. Hey, folks, what's going on out there?
And of course, on the road, another essential guy is DM Full On Gamer.
Greetings, Gamer Nation. Hot and heavy, rolling on the road in the middle of the tri-state area, keeping some kind of heartbeat moving.
Well, that's debatable. At least my heart.
Necromancers for the win. That's called recycling.
That's right. They put the un in undead or something like that. Yeah, let's go to Hits and Crits.
Well? One thought he was invincible, the other thought he could fly. So? They were both wrong.
Son of a bitch is dug in like an Alabama tick.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
We're sending somebody in to negotiate.
Anybody else want to negotiate?
Hits and Crits. Hits and Crits. Had to scratch my ear there. All right. What's going on the road, Full On?
A whole lot of marathon watching of shows. A lot of a lot of live action pandemic LARPing. What? I'm a truck driver. I'm a truck driver in the middle of the tri-state area and extended region, so I get to see it all.
And you have.
Yep. But we're making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
See, it happened there. How about you, Brian?
Oh, let's see. Well, I don't have the luxury to self-quarantine because I'm essential personnel like Full On. I just got my documentation for that. For full disclosure, I'm a medical courier, so I'm going to clinics wearing gloves and masks every time I walk in the door. I
have practical tips for you.
Yeah, what's up?
How to use durable PPE instead of disposable.
I have an N95. An N95 mask. Actually, I need a new one because one of the rubber things broke. I'm not happy about it, but yeah.
Technical medical stuff.
Yeah. Basically,
rubber thing.
Basically, N95 mask is like what's preferred rather than your standard surgical / medical center mask. Yeah, one of the people at one of the clinics I go to gave me one, and I'm very grateful to her. But yeah, I'm gonna have to find something very soon because I've been using that for 3 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Couple of tips for you. One again, it's wash the hands, don't touch your face, and then wash the hands again.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Second step is durable PPE instead of disposable PPE. If you've got access to not like latex gloves, nylite gloves, no, get something more like literally kitchen gloves. Get yourself some rubber over boots. That way you can just wash your rubber over boots. You can just get like a kitty litter pan, put some bleach and water in it. You can just step in that, step out of that. That cleans your feet. Run your hand. You take something that's got bleach and water in it, mix that together. You can wash off your gloves. You can wash off a rain jacket, hang it up into the sun, hang it up under other ultraviolet light, and that sanitizes it so it can be reused. Now, masks, something that will help you preserve a paper mask longer is you really need to get a face shield. Get a halo with a face shield on it. Any kind of product that does that at all, that just puts one good clear barrier so that it's constantly protected, and it will last so much longer. I mean, it's not like you're getting face-to-face with someone and letting them snark on you anyway, so you should be perfectly fine as a casual user of a device. If someone was going to be constantly as a first contact in your face with a known hazard person, I'm telling people they need to go get friggin' military masks. There are military surplus masks all over the place. Use those. M17, M40, M50 protective masks. They got filters, and they cover your face, eyes, nose, and mouth and everything you need to protect. But again, before you put it on, take it off. Wash your hands. After you take it off, wash your hands, wash it, then wash your hands again. And you can wash that in bleach and hot water. So durable PPE is what everybody needs to be using if they're going to be in a constant consumption state, especially in a time of scarcity. It's a field expedient way to do it, but that's what we do for nuclear, biological, chemical, and radiological in the military.
Okay.
Makes perfect sense to me. But
I know. That's why I sent it to my senator, my congressman, the CDC, the FDA, and the White House. I'm waiting for a response.
Just don't hold your breath.
It's full-on gamer. We got to get this out.
Hey, I'm 29-year military veteran, over 5 years of combat experience, and I grew up during the Cold War in Europe when we were training for NBC counteractions as children. So I know this stuff.
I hear you. I'm in total agreement with you. Just
and
that may only go so far.
To mitigate fear, this is when they talk about when they talk about droplet transfer, you're not going to have a cloud of cough snot lurking in the air that you walk through. Someone has to cough on you or sneeze on you, or you have to touch surfaces that they did. So the steam or smoke of somebody breathing is not going to get you. The things that you touch that then you touch your face with are what's going to get you. So wash your hands. That's all you got to do.
It's what they've been saying for 3 weeks. Wash your damn hands. That's what they've been saying.
And it doesn't have to be hot water either. It's the soap that does it.
Yeah, you wash with the soap
and
for
it
20
can be
seconds.
Any old soap doesn't matter. And again, if you need to clean and sterilize the PPE you're using, it should be durable PPE of plastics and rubber that can take being immersed in bleach and then dunk it in clean hot water to rinse it and hang it up next to a UV light or hang it up in the sun. You're good to go.
Makes sense to me.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. So aside from all that, yeah, of course, everything's been shut down. I mean, now, Full-On looks like he could be a roadie for ZZ Top. Me, I could look like I could be like the 6th Jackson brother because, my hair is like way out of control because all the barbershops been shut down. So basically, I've just been trying to just work, do home care, and then just go home. That's pretty much what I've been doing.
Why not?
Yeah, well, I just put out episode 23 of Confessions of an Arcade Addict, my own podcast, and it's been getting a lot of traction on Facebook lately, and I'm like really, really grateful for it. And just doing that kind of stuff, and I've been converting some characters into Core Rules 2.0 expansion to it's like that's the first step. Then transfer it over into my PDF character sheets with the fillable fields that you guys are familiar with, and then putting it in my campaign NPCs information file where they get like the hero's lore book treatment. And, you know, that's what I've been doing. I'm just trying to do stuff, keep my brain occupied. I mean, I just started getting back into Elite Dangerous literally last night. So, yeah. I'm just trying to do stuff to keep my mind occupied and not, you know, watch the news or, you know, look at all the hysteria online and be subjected to the hysteria in the stores and so forth.
Right.
I do have
Wars is for the win.
What's that? What's that?
Clone Wars Season 7. It's on Disney Plus. Ongoing.
Yeah.
Finally being released.
I'm broke.
What is?
I'm still broke. I still need to. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it eventually, but yeah, I've got to wait until this whole thing settles down because, you know, I'm looking at being laid off if people aren't going to see the doctor as often as they have been. So, I mean, my job's already laid off a couple of people. So, you know, it's going to get worse before it gets better. But, you know, it's just, we got to just keep the faith, right?
Can't get any worse.
Oh, yes, it can. Never, ever, 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 ever say that, Glenn, because yes, it can. It can always be worse.
I really don't think we're going to
say that to GM.
I really don't think we're going to have a Black Plague situation.
No,
it's not medieval. It's not medieval.
Oh, we aren't, and this is really being driven by the snowflakes who don't understand what hazard is. We're still not losing as many people as we do to the flu annually. We're still not losing as many people as we do to anything else. And the process of development of the things that meter a new thing have gone through the roof in the rate of progress. They're being developed faster than humanly thought possible, and the regulations in the way have all been stripped. So we're getting the field test done. We're getting the treatments in place, and it's not a quantified controlled test yet, but it's the field test of, hey, guess what? It worked. Use it.
Good.
Yep.
Well, COVID-19
percentages later.
Yeah. For COVID-19, to me, it's the family-friendly AIDS. Because once again, you don't die from COVID-19. You die because it weakens you, so you catch pneumonia and die.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Joe, I just found out Joe Diffie died of it.
What?
Today.
Oh,
yeah.
Jeez. Wow, that sucks.
He was 61. I'm sick. I'm going to be 63 next month. I'm scared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is about to be messed with. I mean, my girlfriend has COPD, so she's at risk. Allie has got so many different issues, health issues, that I'm afraid of her even walking to her mailbox to get her mail. That's how bad it is. Not to mention my godson, her son. He's got a depressed immune system, so they don't leave the house. It's like me, the other person who does the other half of her home care, dishes and so forth, and like one or two other people come to see them, and that's it. Because yeah, it's like they even get a whiff of that, they're going to wind up in the hospital, both of them. So yeah, I'm worried about them for sure.
Okay, of the show, I'm the token quarantine guy. So let's see.
Go ahead, Glenn.
Bad Mike at North Texas RPG Con is still taking a wait and see attitude, but I'm pretty sure that North Texas ain't going to be happening. Virtual Gary Con went well enough for him to say whether we're having a con or not, I think every year we're going to have an online presence too with online games.
Which is not a bad thing. More games is always a good thing.
Gen Con is still an open question. They're hoping things are better by the summer, so they haven't made a go or no-go decision yet other than plan to go.
When is Gen
so
Con?
I'm still going to go.
Mid to late July?
Oh, and get this.
August,
September.
This. Okay.
North Texas and other cons use this website called Tabletop Events. You've heard of it? It's basically for registering for the con and registering your games and putting them up there. They do all that grunt work.
Right.
Of trying to, I put my games up there. You can buy tickets. You can get into the games, and blah 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 blah. Well, guess what? They're going to cease operations as of the end of this month.
No,
because
that's unfortunate.
They're going out of business because too many cons are shutting down. They have to refund too many people's money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now Doug from North Texas is trying to bail them out because they use it. And it's like, please don't.
Again, the money is there. They can go reclaim their operating costs or their refund costs, go get the Small Business Administration loan and pay their payroll, pay their commitments, pay their refunds. It's available under loans that are forgiven. So it's not a problem. Go get the free money.
Mm-hmm.
If they can, yeah. If they're inclined to do it. I think, see, they want to give up the ghost, and Doug from North Texas is going, no, because he's got deep pockets.
I was going to say.
He doesn't have real deep pockets, but he got enough deep pockets to put on a con every year.
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask if he was in a position to, keep them from folding.
He's trying to.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to.
Okay.
But, so it's that bad. I don't, okay, Gen Con's taking a wait and see. I assume Origins is also taking a wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
But Gen Con, if they don't do it this year, Indianapolis is like sunk. Because that's one of their major income things every year.
Yeah.
No, they're probably going to take that center and convert it into a field hospital if they have a major explosion in the region. So they will get compensated by the government.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, on the personal level, I wish I could enjoy my confinement more, but my stepson came home and he wants to go get his dogs, and he's that plus my diabetes. And
Star Wars: The Old Republic, free to play.
I have things to do, sir. But Becky's home working. The boys are home. He's here. This play is getting to be. It's like, yes, I do this all the time. I stay home.
That means you have a raid. You have a raid party. Get them all into it.
I want to get out.
That will
of here.
occupy them.
It's like for once, I want to get out of the house because this is like being snowed in.
Mm-hmm.
After a few days, I get cabin fever with everybody around.
Yep.
I've been to your cabin. You have a yard. Walk laps.
Like I said, I have things to do. I'm reading The Black Monastery. I'm doing some artwork for somebody. I'm not working on my North Texas games because I've at this point, what's the point? I'm developing other games. I'm watching movies. I'm catching up on my spaghetti westerns and Chop Saki. I just watched another Chop Saki movie the other day, Kung Fu Genius.
Oh yeah, I saw a thing on I saw a thing on Instagram for that movie.
It's wacky.
I believe it. Yes, it is. The scene I saw was quite wacky. Yes.
What else did I see? It Can Be Done, Amigo, which is a old Bud Spencer Western, spaghetti Western.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bud Spencer without Terrence Hill. It's with Bud Spencer and Jack Palance.
Wow.
Which is it's a comedy Western, but it's a real good comedy Western.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so I've been just going through those and just taking it easy and not mulling over my sorry state of affairs, which has nothing to do with COVID. It just is.
Yeah, it's just COVID doesn't make this state of affairs any less sorry. That's for sure.
Well, like I said, in the diabetic diet, we stocked up on food twice, and I can't eat any of it.
Because all the specialized stuff is gone because everyone's lost their minds. Ugh.
Among other things, but it's just like you get one more meal a day, and it's like you bought all everybody's eating around me, but that kind of thing. I should be taking walks out anyway around the neighborhood.
Yep. Just maintain a 6-foot distance from people. That's all you got to do.
Marla. On the plus side, like I said, my Savage World stuff I stopped working on. My Gangbusters thing has been ready for months, so I don't worry about that.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm thinking of possibly developing a Savage World spaghetti Western game.
Oh, jeez. You're just kit bashing all over the place, Glenn.
Well, I haven't done anything yet because actually there's a bundle. If you go to the Pinnacle site, They've got a COVID bundle there of the 2 books for Deadlands Reloaded free in PDF.
Wow.
So go to peginc.com and look for that, because you just click on it, and I don't know if you have to register with them or not. I don't know, but I clicked on it and I got both PDFs for free.
Cool.
You get the Marshal's Guide and the Player's Guide. It's great. I don't know if I want to use that, because somebody told me the one they did on the 6th Gun is better, which is based on a graphic novel series.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They have Flash Gordon. Hold the phone.
Yes, they do have Flash Gordon. That's
Hold the phone. Time
that came
out.
That came out about the end of last year.
I didn't know
it was
that.
a whole big Kickstarter.
I never heard of it. You gotta remember, I'm kind of in my little bubble here.
I know.
He needs to stay away from Kickstarter. It's like crack.
Yes, it
or
is.
Card games. It will suck you in. I'm still waiting on several Kickstarter deliveries, and some that have gone belly up. So
after they did this, the new edition of Savage, just before they did the new edition of Savage Worlds, that was their Kickstarter, Flash Gordon, and Riffs.
Wow, look at that.
They have Riffs for Savage Worlds now. But everybody knows that. So.
Wow.
But I don't know what they're doing.
This is impressive. Wow. Okay.
Oh, I actually did pick up a couple of games. I got Cards Against Thrones and Cards Against the Stars. So Star Wars and Game of Thrones, Cards Against Humanity, and I'm gonna blend the decks and play it that way.
Cool.
I don't know if I have this book yet, but I probably should have said it to you. Before they had Flash Gordon, they had a game called Slipstream, which was basically Flash Gordon with the numbers filed off.
Nothing wrong with that.
But that's out of print now, and I think I have a copy or something. I also have a copy, I think, of the Savage World of Solomon Kane.
Cool.
Which looks interesting. But I think I can take either Deadlands or 6th Gun and develop it into a spaghetti western. That would be fun. Wow. It's just I have to strip.
It's called Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking stripping out like the supernatural elements and just go for it.
Just go for it. Just go strict 100% Western. Okay.
Oh, with some steampunk in there. I get the gadgeteering in with all those weird.
Okay, so you want to do the Wild Wild West movie. Okay, got it.
No, I don't want to do the Wild Wild West movie. But I'm thinking more like Briscoe County Jr. But no, I mean,
yeah.
But
go warm up. Go watch Cowboys versus Aliens, and just jump in both feet.
Well, I didn't really think about that, because a normal spaghetti western, a lot of times they have these weird stuff. Like there was one that has an organ that shoots. And Colonel Mortimer with all those gadgets for his gun and all that kind of stuff. And so I thought, that will work for spaghetti western too, just like minor gadgeteering stuff. Like it should be easy.
Well, I'm just saying, if you want to do it, you do get these kind of left field ideas every once in a while, Glenn. So yeah, go for it. Yeah,
I'm surprised nobody's written one up yet.
I wouldn't be surprised someone did something for a homebrew, but nothing published.
This one guy on a blog, he started doing it. He did like 2-3 blog entries on this game. He was talking, what was it? Bury your coffin, Sartana is here. I think he called it, or something like that. But that's the other thing. I want to get the Sartana series.
Sartana? Why is that unfamiliar?
Lee Van
It
Cleef.
Sounds like Zatanna.
Oh, okay. That's what
Sartana, but I do have the Sabata trilogy. So more Lee Van Cleef with the side of Yul Brynner.
Of course.
With the side of Yul Brynner.
Yeah, you're reminding me of my brother right now, because he was a major Lee Van Cleef fan back in the day. That's for sure.
Was he?
Oh, yeah. Well, he loved Lee Van Cleef.
I could do regular Western, too. I just watched some Randolph Scott yesterday.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. So, what did I
watch? Ride Lonesome. It was like a who's who. It was like James Coburn in his first film.
God, how long ago was that? That must have been like early
it was
60s.
It was James Coburn, Pernell Roberts.
Wow, Trapper John
James,
MD himself.
James Best.
Roscoe P. Coltrane.
and the main bad guy was Lee Van Cleef.
Wow.
all with Randolph Scott. It was called Ride Lonesome.
Wow.
Really good movie.
Sounds
it was one
like
of those Bud Boddicker films.
Right. Well, actually, James Best was a really, really good actor. I've seen some of his stuff back in like the early '60s.
He's a good character actor.
Yes, he is. Obviously.
I mean, he was played. Scott's the bounty hunter, and he was his bounty. He was trying to take to Santa Cruz, and all the stuff that happens, and it's Western stuff. Go watch it. So.
Yeah, it's Western stuff. Yeah, got it.
Western stuff, but that would be good to do too, because that psychological Western stuff works well also. Anyway, okay, emails. What do we got for emails?
Okay, got one email.
Partner.
Got partner. Yeah. I got one from Michael Robinette, and we also have a voicemail from DM Kojo, which I'll set that up in a minute. Okay.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I see him all over Facebook every day. Yeah, he's a school teacher out in Western Michigan. Yeah, one of these days I'll go out there and actually meet him face to face. Okay, but to get to Michael's email, he says, "Dear Thaconians, greetings. After a little over a year, I'm finally caught up with all your episodes. Well, almost, since you released. This is back when we put out 154, which was like what, a month ago, I think." Between 154 and 155.
How time.
I object. I am a Thaconanian.
Thaconanian. Yeah, Nanu. Anyway.
No. What is best in life?
Oh.
Thaco's hammer, of course.
Yes.
Wah. Plug.
And hear the lamentations of your players. Got it.
Hey. Yeah. What is best in life? Old Man Grognard. Plug.
Yeah, anyway.
Radio Grog. Go ahead.
Okay, he says, I feel I've grown as a listener, starting with my first dumb question as a neophyte.
For my 12th dumb question.
Yeah. To audience veteran, to seasoned listener. It's been quite the journey. So, one brief story and a question. First, the story. So, I'm an E8 in the Naval Reserves on long-term orders in Florida. Coming onto the quarterdeck one morning, I saw the junior enlisted on watch had a line of 3D geometric shapes, a pyramid, a cube, and an 8-sided figure, etc., etc. I asked him about it, of course, and it ends up that he is not only an avid gamer, but has a second edition group. How about that? I was a little surprised that he does play second since he's in his early 20s, but he was saying the rest of the group are in their 30s and 40s. When he's on watch, I often stop and talk with him a bit about the various games. In fact, I told him about this show, so he might be listening as you read this. Cool. Let's see. The question. You've talked more than once in the past about alignments in AD&D, especially chaotic neutral. I like your example of Jack Sparrow, by the way. I've never liked the idea of chaotic neutral as crazy. To me, they're more about being totally self-centered, but not stupidly so. I've recently reread the Dragonlance Chronicles and Legends. It's probably been close to 20 years since I last read them, and while I still did like them, I found myself reacting to the characters differently as I did to a teenager or a young adult. Pause. Yeah, that tends to happen when you reread stuff. Oh man, I should reread the Dragonlance Chronicles, but yeah.
Yeah, the third time I reread Mr. Popper's Penguins, it was a real eye-opener.
You're funny. Why didn't you just watch the movie? Anyway, to continue. The biggest thing that stood out to me was its treatment of good, neutral, and evil alignments. The quote-unquote good elves were xenophobic, caste-bound, and even owned slaves. The evil Dalamar was loyal and in many ways a good friend. The good theocracy of the King Priest Day had slaves and were looking at genocide. Some of the Knights of Takasis were evil, but better than many of the supposedly good guys and so forth. My question is then, what is your definition of good and evil? I mean, do you tend to see the good as not being genocidal slave owners personally, but I feel that in Dragonlance it's more of a side that you're on rather than a personality trait. I tend to agree with that. So how do you play good versus evil alignment in your games? Thanks, and as always, appreciate the show. Sincerely, Michael Robinette.
White hats and black hats. Love it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not surprised in your games, Glenn.
Don't you love it?
Yeah, I mean, in the end, whether or not it's something that was inherently built into the game, it became something that was an inherent part of the game.
Yeah.
It basically comes down to, is your character party a bunch of murder hobos, or are they actually decent people trying to do the right thing?
That's not an accurate statement, because there are murder hobos and parties of lawful and chaotic good party members all the damn time.
I know.
They're still murder hobos.
I know that.
So, are they maliciously hostile with intent to cause harm?
Mm-hmm.
Beyond what is the actual need.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's more a case of the flagrant gratuity of their antisocial behavior and violence than the existence of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that all comes down once again to the players. I put that squarely at their feet. I mean, I put it in my house rules for everybody to read. Now, alignment is not on a straitjacket. It's a tool. It's basically this is the lens through which the character sees the world, and it just goes from there. And it affects how he interacts with his party members. It affects how he interacts with other people, the civilians, if you will. The norms. Because I've said it 1,000 times. To the average dweller of a town or city in a D&D campaign world, adventurers are crazy. They're all out of their minds. Why would they go digging around in that tomb over there or in that cemetery over there when they know that there's possible undead that can come out and kill me? while they're messing around in there, things are going to get bad for me out here, so forth and so on. As far as Michael's examples, it's entirely possible that someone from an evil alignment can actually be somebody's good friend. It's just he treats everybody else like garbage. He screws everybody. You've seen it. Where
look at the Sopranos.
Yeah, exactly. Freaking Tony Soprano. It's like, God. If this guy is not a poster boy for neutral evil behavior, I don't know what is. He loves his family, even though he cheats on his wife all the freaking time, and
he loves some of his friends. He loves.
He loves. Some of his friends,
before it's the whole mafia thing. Business is business, but at the same time, he really thought Pussy was a good friend.
Yeah, until Pussy betrayed him. You're right, and then he had to take care of him.
But if you take somebody like Silvio or Paulie, they're buddies. They got to toe the line because he's the boss, but they're still, they're good friends.
Right. Yeah. It's just that Tony's the one in charge, and the funny thing is that you're seeing just how misanthropic Tony is when he goes to his weekly sessions with the doctor, with the therapist.
Right.
Because he's having trouble maintaining himself while he's doing all these really screwed up, wicked, evil things. He's got a bit of a conscience, a little bit.
Yeah.
And if you want an example of lawful evil that you can wrap your head around and enjoy, you've got to check out Tanya the Evil anime. You can see it on Amazon Prime. You can see it on your favorite accessible streaming service of anime content. Tanya the Evil, the series and the movie, will bend your brain.
Most anime does these days.
Okay, you want a good example of an evil person with a conscience? I'm going to bring up another Bud Boddicker Western here.
Okay.
Go watch Decision at Sundown. Okay. Now, the whole thing is, some people called it High Noon in Reverse. Well, let me give you the quick plot. Randolph Scott comes into town for vengeance. with his buddy Noah Beery Jr. He comes into town because the main bad guy in the town once went to bed with his wife and she killed herself. She committed suicide. He holds him responsible. He wants his revenge.
Right.
What you find out over the course of the film is the fact that his wife wasn't exactly virtuous.
Well, obviously.
And this wasn't the first man that she's having an affair with, but he doesn't care. He wants vengeance. So he's like real bullheaded and evil, not evil, but I mean, he's real stubborn and evil the way kind of Ethan Edwards is in The Searchers. You know what I'm saying? Right. He wants his vengeance. He wants to know. Now look on the other side. The guy who runs the town, who has the sheriff in his pocket, big, he's not your stereotypical Western baddie because he's getting ready to marry this one girl, but his mistress doesn't like it, and she's got some character development too. But he has a conscience. He knows he's going to have to come out and face this guy, and he's afraid, but he's going to do it anyway. So that's character development. Yeah, he's evil, but he's still a person who's evil,
right? Not
a monster who's evil. Right. Because I've never seen character development of a bad guy like that before. Because you can almost sympathize with him. And it's more like he's taking the attitude of, oh God, I'm scared, but I made my bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna lie in it.
I'm gonna go lie in it. And what gets me is and I'm gonna spoil it for you. At the end of the film, the bad guy gets run out of town by the town who finds a backbone and kicks him out of town. He does not die. Him and his mistress get run out of town.
Right.
Scott does not get his revenge the way he wants to, and he leaves the town a bitter man. So it's like, wow, a resolution, there's no resolution. And this, that kind of thing, it's evil, but I don't know if it's the kind of evil you want to portray in a role-playing game, though. Do you want to get that complex? Right. But that it happens. It happens in all sorts of entertainment. Why not this?
Right. That's a good, just that story description you gave is a good background for why the bad guy is a bad guy.
I mean, it was the doctor in the town who rallied the town saying, are you going to let him push us around anymore? Because they listened to the Scott characters to see why he was doing this, because his wife got he got in an affair and she killed himself, but probably not just over him, but all of it.
Yeah.
But because he at the time he was serving in the Civil War, he was away. He came and seduced her and probably a bunch of other men, but the town said they're going to rally behind him. And at the end, he leaves town. He doesn't care about the town. He just wants to get out of there.
Yeah. He's
one of 224.
They tried to say, we thank you. Oh, thank you. And it was like,
yeah, he's like, yeah, whatever. I didn't get what I want. I'm just going to leave. I mean, another, in that
that's a good example of a complicated good.
Right.
Or at least neutral.
Yeah, I'd say probably the events changed him from good to neutral because he just became all angry and bitter towards the end. Yeah. I mean, another thing is like just use Star Trek II as another example. Now, in the original Star Trek episode Space Seed, Kirk meets Khan. Khan is irredeemably evil because he thinks that because of his genetically enhanced brain and body, he thinks he's better than everybody in front of him, including his own people, which is why he's in charge. And Kirk outsmarts him, puts him on a planet. 20 years later, he hasn't. I mean, after basically the woman they contested over, went with Khan.
It was hot.
Oh yes, she was. Well, yeah, we both have a thing for redheads. But yeah, and you want to talk about an alignment change? There's another one. She fell in love with him, and her love became so all-encompassing that she betrayed her captain almost to the point of him dying.
The Federation.
Yeah, and the Federation.
The Federation.
Yeah, for the love of one man.
And it changed him too, because he actually reciprocated and really fell in love with her.
Yes, he did. He actually became a little softer, but there was still a part of him was completely and totally ruthless. And then she dies in that 20-year span, and he is so consumed over Kirk. Her death and wanting to get his revenge on Kirk that it basically
Starfleet.
Yeah, exactly. This whole thing just sat with him for 20 years until, by complete happenstance, a Federation starship comes into orbit. They beam down, they capture the officers, blah blah blah, and you get to see just how ruthless of a SOB Khan is. But you also see that he's completely blind to his situation because of his desire for vengeance. Because
that's why he quotes Moby Dick.
Exactly.
He's just like Ahab.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he had a chance to take the USS Reliant and Genesis and just go say, screw y'all. You're going to really regret what happened here, and he could have gone away. But no, Kirk realized that his desire for vengeance is all consuming, and he used that against Khan, and it ended up destroying him.
And you want another example, like Millennia in another.
It still has its own incarnations in the new version of Khan.
Yes.
For the alternate timeline Khan, it has its own deep.
Well, I was thinking more like I was thinking of more the new timeline. The first guy who wanted Spock's head.
Who?
He wanted Spock's head because.
Oh that's right.
The Romulan guy.
The first one. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, he wanted Spock's head, and he's the one who destroys Vulcan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of all of the events that ended up with Romulus being destroyed, and Spock was quote unquote responsible for it. And he wanted to kill Spock. And
I think, Spock came back to this time he time traveled trying to fix it or something.
Mm-hmm. He ended up going into an alternate universe.
Yeah, he was trying to get back to before it happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he tried to prevent it, and he couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but there it is.
But those are good examples of good and evil, different good and evil.
Yes. I mean, we all know that one guy who is cool as hell to you, but to the entire world outside, he's a complete and total dick to. It's just that kind of guy. It's just like, and everyone will come to you like in an aside and just say, "Why are you friends with this guy?" And like, he's good to me. He may hate everything else on this planet, but he doesn't hate me.
Right.
But yeah, so thanks for your email, Michael. That was a good.
Yeah, thank you. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was.
Now you said you had a voicemail.
Yeah, I got a voicemail from Kojo. If you give me just a moment, I will get this set up, and we will go from there.
Well, gentlemen, it's Kojo. It's been a long time. Thought I'd get back in the saddle here with a little THACO's Hammer goodness. So I decided to pick up back in Splat Book 142. And here I am listening along, and all of a sudden, next thing I know, you guys are talking about magic users swinging 10-foot poles with daggers on them as if that's something that should be allowed. What the crap is going on with your show? 10-foot pole with daggers on it. Come on. Seriously? Anyways, no, I'm all for good, cool rule interpretation like that. You guys know that. I just had to give you the business. So I don't have any specific comment or question this time. I just wanted to let you know that I'm back, baby. I'm back. Out.
Thank you, Kojo, for not much at all, really.
For busting our stones. Sure.
Yeah, busting our chops and then whatever. That's all right. That's our kid. That's our
Yeah,
that's Quagmire. No,
exactly.
That's our Kojo.
No, but what he's referring to was an email somebody sent us about having like his 6-year-old daughter in the game, and she came up with something, because she was a mage and had like put a dagger on a 10-foot pole so she could attack monsters with it, that kind of thing.
I like it, actually. You do that. You could do that with a mage's staff.
Yeah, you could. But yeah, that's what Kojo was busting on us
yeah.
about.
Oh, come on.
And she's a well-versed little kid. That she's obviously seen Predator. She knows how to make the field expedient dagger staff spear. So it just has to make saves every once in a while to avoid falling apart. And then you've got to go get your dagger from the thing you just stuck it in. He was very upset.
Yeah,
That's a challenge for a mage. Might want to use Mage Hand for that.
I watched enough YouTube bushcraft videos from places to know how to mount a dagger on a stick. So it's all a matter of the knots you use and the cordage. So that's good, kid. So shut up, Kojo. But I didn't really.
Yeah, we didn't mean that.
Yeah, no, he just meant no. I didn't mean. I meant shut your damn mouth. But I didn't mean that either. Well, sorry, sound like Buddy Young Jr. So thank you.
You're
Kojo.
watching too many westerns, Glenn.
You're a prince.
Okay.
So let's get some more emails in, folks. THACOshammer@gmail.com, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Or the
voicemail, and a voicemail we may be able to hear.
Yeah, provided I have the right headset. 405-806-0555.
Thank you much.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go into the people skills section. So it's people skills.
Pretty sure we have time to bury them fellas.
Hell with them fellas. Buzzards gotta eat, same as worms.
How can you shoot women, children? Easy. You just don't lead them so much. Ain't war hell?
Where shall I find a new adversary so close to my own level?
Try the local sewer.
People skills. I said it twice for redundancy. People skills. I learned it's good to have redundancy. So
sometimes
we're talking about kobolds, those little furry,
scaly furry lizard, whatever they are.
Lizard type. You got a few of them. They're going to attack you. All you have to do is just grab one. Scratch him behind. Here's a good boy. Here's a good boy. They're docile.
Yeah, right. Sure they are. Yeah,
he's a good boy.
Stab you in the ankles with a knife or something. Anyway, no, the reason why, well, there was no particular reason, but I just remember there were a couple of people who were those kind of players who always wanted to do, really out in left field kind of things, like when it came to their characters. And this was just before the complete book of humanoids came out. Just before. And somebody wanted to play a kobold, but he wanted to play him like Scrappy Doo. Where he's like that little annoying thing that always wants to fight everybody.
a whole mob of Scrappy Doos.
Yeah. But actually, kobolds could, if they survive long enough, kobolds can actually be pretty passable adventurers. Let's see if I can find the racial limits. I can give it to you.
Or at least native bearers.
Yeah, well, something. Let's see. They can go as high as 8th level as a fighter, 9th level as a cleric, 7th level as a shaman or witch doctor, and 12th level as a thief. So immediately I'm starting to think of this like
shaman. That's impressive.
Yeah, they can do shaman, witch doctor, that kind of thing. But I'm thinking of a fighter thief all the way. This is with a nasty attitude. This mean little thing that you think you can just squish him and just beat him up and all this kind of stuff. Then all of a sudden he's beating you up.
I'm thinking of an NPC, just a single kobold who lives in the city, maybe in the sewers or something, and he's one of the Thieves Guild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that.
He's a member of the Thieves Guild, and it's like he's the only one. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is like, human, dwarf, elf, halfling, but he's the only kobold. But he can't really live above ground with the populace, so he has to live in like storm drains and sewers, or some Thieves Guild hideout or something.
Right, and I could go ahead.
He could be a specialist too. He's small and he's quick. He could be like a good, say, second story man, or teach him lock picking and stuff.
Yeah, I could see that.
He's like the mouse. Philippe Gaston the Mouse.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
From Lady
The mouse? He left the house.
Oh, man. But,
In through the sewer pipes.
Mm-hmm.
Mouse, he left the house? All of a sudden, I'm thinking savoir-faire is everywhere.
No mouse
Oh, my
today.
God.
He went away.
Savoir-faire.
Okay,
No, that's a
I'll be
weird
back
rat.
for you.
That would be a weird
pretty
rat.
much.
Kobolds, of course, as you would think, they hate people who joke with them about their size and their lack of strength and so forth and so on. Most PC kobolds tend to run towards lawful neutral behavior because almost all kobolds are lawful evil. And yeah, it even says
I think of lawful neutral as almost a Damon Runyon type character.
Yeah, I think Odo. But
Odo?
Yeah, Odo's
Okay.
like an epitome of lawful neutral. I'd
Really?
almost say Worf was lawful neutral too, but sometimes he could go either way.
Okay. Then we're talking about like Javert. Or
Yeah,
somebody
Javert,
like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
The law is all.
Yeah, exactly. They even say for role-playing tips, Kobold PCs should have probably a bit of a harder edge because because people are always making short jokes and they're belligerent, wisecracking, and pushy. Yeah, that is Scrappy Doo. Trying to make up for their size. Even the most pleasant of kobolds can be a little mean-spirited.
You also end up with a little bit of speciesism if they're being slandered for their dog-like appearance when they have reptilian dragonkin aspirations of relations.
Yep.
So that gets the ego tripping hard.
Yep.
Well, one thing I don't think these characters would do that Scrappy would do is actually pick a fight.
What are you talking about? That's all Scrappy
Oh, yes,
Doo
they
ever
would.
did.
Kobolds
yes,
absolutely will pick a fight
Yep.
when they have the advantage. They will set you up for a fight that they have the advantage for. They will kneel, they will cower, they will quiver, they will whimper, they will yield until they can shiv you in the ankle.
That's not picking a fight. What I'm talking about is like Scrappy Doo will he sees a monster, he will run towards it. They won't run towards it.
I can see a kobold fighter or a kobold fighter thief being like that. And you gotta remember, it's
just
the Napoleon
super
complex.
overconfident.
Yeah, it's the Napoleon complex because they're short, they're little, they're only 3 feet tall, and one of their racial makeups is being fodder for all of the other humanoid races, goblins, all the way up the food chain. And they're constantly, the only way they actually will fight other people is if they have a superior numerical advantage, or they have a really good ambush setup, something like that. But I could see a kobold fighter being just this hard-edged, what do you want to make something of it kind of guy. I mean,
Joe Pesci in a kobold suit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, what do you think, I'm funny? What? Am I a clown to you? What? Yeah, I could see that. And then he just stabs him in the kneecap with a dagger or something. Yeah, I could see that.
I could also see Henry Hawk. You gonna come quietly, or do I have to must you?
Exactly. I'm a chicken hawk and I eat chickens. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that kind of thing. That's why I was thinking Scrappy Doo, because that's half the reason why Scrappy Doo would pick fights is because he was little. He's basically a puppy, and Scooby was having to take him out of situations that he was going to be the one to get splatted. Instead of saying, I'll splat him, no, he was about to get splatted. And everyone's got to pull him out of the thing. That's why most Scooby-Doo fans hate Scrappy Doo.
That's
also part of the thing where if they are in an adventuring party, they're obviously in the company of the most powerful things they have ever seen in their life.
Yep.
As opposed to, the kobold tribe that they were in previously. So they obviously have the wherewithal to do anything they want to anyone they want at any time they want. So that is the root of their charge first confidence. As long as they're under the illusion that the party has their back.
Right. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah, that's why I could see like a kobold fighter in an adventuring party making friends with the barbarian, say, because he knows that if he has that big 6'6", 250, 3% body fat, 18 double-aught strength, human behind him and supporting him, he's going to get out of pocket real quick. He's like, oh,
I could have fun with the Sam Elliott model too. The We Were Soldiers Sergeant Major, survivor of the adventure incursion kobold, leader of the guards.
Yeah, I could see that. For sure, I could see that.
The very grizzled veteran.
Yeah, a grizzled veteran who's like going into old age at like the age of like 30 or something like that. Because kobolds don't live very long, by the way.
There's something that appeals to their thieving nature. Kobolds at sea. Maybe they were part of a pirate crew.
I could see that. Give them the sailing proficiency. Sure.
Yeah, and say they were retired from that. Maybe they were the captain's pet for like 20 years, and they just learned all this thievery stuff from pirates and stuff.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Kobold with a peg. Yep. Kobold with a peg leg. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, that works. But yeah, I mean, but even the nicest of kobolds are a little bit mean. Just a little bit, because that's just how they are. Or if they're old enough, cantankerous.
Yeah, exactly. They become curmudgeon-y. It's true. Let's see. As far as stats go, they have a -1 penalty to strength and constitution. They only get a maximum strength of 16. A maximum con of 15. A maximum charisma of 14. An intelligence 17, but 17 is still good. I could see just this like nasty little fighter thief who's really, really smart, and he's gotten by because he was smart. Because he knew when to leave his tribe because his tribe was going to get wiped out. Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No.
No, I was just saying that I could see such a kobold just knowing who to latch onto, to ensure his own survival, that kind of thing.
Right.
And he's still pretty capable in his own right, in his own way. It's just he's just not going to be like the big huge barbarian who's got muscles on top of muscles. No, he's going to be like a meaner version of Malik, let's say. Right. I can see that.
I'm going to go back and see if I can find. I have a complete set of the basic D&D Gazetteers and all 4 of the creature crucibles. Now, one of those books, I can't remember if it was. I know Top Ballista added if you wanted to play gnomes, gremlins, all these other creatures as races class, but it may be the Orcs of Thar.
Orcs of Thar, I would say.
Orcs of or Tall Tales of the Wee Folk.
Yeah,
one of those should have Kobold as a player character. I want to go back and see what they say about playing kobolds.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Go back to the garage and dig those out and find out if there's anything in there.
Yeah,
I got to read one of these. I got to read those one of these days. Anyway, I digress.
I'm thinking that's more Dark Folk than Tales of the Wee Folk.
Yeah.
I
had that book.
I could agree with you, but I can't remember. Unfortunately, my Dark Folk supplement is buried in my bedroom closet. But yeah, I would say so. I mean, because you remember they had like Roll Age.
I had to look through my Roll Age stuff.
Yeah.
I know I have it.
Yeah, I know I've got it too. I just can't get to it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Anyway, kobolds. Yeah, because you can convert easily.
Yeah, no problems.
Try a kobold out as a PC sometime. Look at it. I'm encouraging it. Oh my God. I'm the guy. That's like, no variant PCs.
Oh yeah, okay.
Damn it.
Oh, I remember how much you like Top Ballista. Stop it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I said the only thing I want to add is gnomes and half orcs. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else. Get that dragonborn out of here. No Tanari. Damn it.
Yeah. No Cambios.
No, you're not playing. No, you're not playing a Minotaur.
Well, the funny
part. Anyway, if you guys want to do it, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny? Well, you said what's the funny thing is what?
Oh no, I was just saying. I have a campaign world that I'd been working on for a while before I did go on to other stuff, where it was based off an old Commodore 64 RPG called Fantasy, where you could be orcs, kobolds, lizard men, minotaurs, all the way down the line. And then this supplement came out. I'm like, somebody was a fantasy fan. Because I'm like, almost every single one except for like sprites and pixies are in here.
Well,
actually,
in
I take that back.
Topalista,
Pixies are in here. What am I thinking?
In fact, I think in Topalista you can actually play a centaur too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh yeah, you can play centaur. Play centaur here for sure. But yeah.
But anyway, we're talking kobolds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys know all the tactics of kobolds. You know they're sneaky little buggers, and
yeah, they will go for backstabs.
Yeah. Yeah, and all that good stuff that DMs love.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt.
Yeah. Was it? You're not flanking me, damn it.
I'm flanking you.
When we played third edition, the first time somebody had a bunch of halfling thieves jump us in an alley, and they kept getting attacks of opportunity because they were constantly flanked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what the hell is this? I can't even get a shot in, and they've got 3 already.
Yeah.
Flanking rules.
Well,
I don't like.
Well, that's a DM who decided that yes, I'm going to keep doing this to my players, and they're just going to have to take it. Yep.
Yeah, we went down fast in that.
Yeah, I believe it.
But kobolds can do the same thing. So
yeah, of course.
Aren't there flanking rules? I sound so stupid. Aren't there flanking rules in 2E?
Yes, there are. I mean, it's pretty simple. You just attack the unshielded side, or anywhere that's not a rear attack, you get like a +1 bonus. That's it. Nothing major. Rear attacks are +2. If you're a thief, it's +4 with the opportunity for backstab, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, shall we?
So there is kobolds.
Yep.
I think we've said everything we're going to say. THACOSammer@gmail.com, guys. Let's move on to Magic Fingers.
The White Wizard approaches.
There's no such thing as magic.
You always were the better magician. You best know that. But whatever your secret was, you have to agree. Mine is better.
Magic Fingers. Magic Fingers. Staff of Striking.
Yes, indeed.
A perennial favorite.
Yep. For that wizard that wants to be a fighter in the worst way.
Or that wizard that you want to, or that first or second level wizard who just wants to stay alive.
Yeah. if things are melee heavy, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I'm pulling it up now. I forgot I had to pull that. That's my fault.
Well,
there we go.
I give it to a first to third level character just to keep them alive.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. As powerful as it is, okay. Let's get into it.
Who said I wasn't? Who said I wasn't going to gimp it?
Well, that's the whole thing. If you gimped it, it wouldn't be worth very much. I mean, only if you really.
With his life.
Yeah,
worth his life if I gave it to like 10 charges.
Well, yeah, 10 charges is fine. Okay.
Yeah.
This oaken staff is equivalent to a +3 magical weapon. It causes 1d6 +3 damage, expending 1 charge. If 2 charges are expended, the damage is doubled. So it's 1d6 +6, and if 3 charges are expended, bonus damage is tripled. So no more than 3 charges can be expended per strike. So you could basically, do 1d6 plus 9 damage if you wanted to. Most of the characters I ever had who had a Staff of Striking were mages. There was one guy in a game that I didn't play in, but I heard about from a friend of mine who was DMing that game, where he decided that he was going to be Friar Tuck, but he wasn't a cleric. He was just a fighter who proselytized a lot. And
Fighter Tuck.
Yeah, Fighter Tuck, exactly. Okay. And he got a Staff of Striking, and then the game just went a little bit sideways because all of a sudden he was the heavy hitter in the party and not, the knight in full plate armor wielding a longsword, that kind of thing. And unfortunately, the player involved liked the fact that his character was now in the spotlight and was the linchpin in combat, and it just went from there. It just went pretty crazy. It really did. So, but yeah, I mean, every mage character that I've ever, not every, but a lot of mage characters I've had, that are like, really high in level, say like 12th level and higher, most of them have a Staff of Striking, but it's used more or less as a last resort, in case something gets in their face.
That's why I said 1st to 3rd level, give them something with, like, say, no more than 10 charges. That'll keep them going until they can actually get some spells under their belt.
Well, or until they get it recharged, because it can be.
Yeah. I could always put another limitation on it. It can only take 10 charges at a time.
And then, of course, there is the Staff of Striking Local 531.
Yeah.
Yeah, when this heavy oaken staff is swung as an opponent, a large placard pops out of the end reading, "On strike, PC's unfair to magical items." After that, it resists all attempts to wield it in combat, making hits impossible. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was out of one of those Dragon magazines they put out in like April, like an April Fool's issue. When they started doing that, that's where this came from.
Yeah, see, I would have had a I would have had a union steward pop out of the staff and do negotiations for the strike.
That's funny.
Oh boy.
But yeah.
Because all of a sudden the PC is management.
Well, yeah, he's using the weapon, right? Yeah, I guess he is.
So he may or may not get it off. It might take a little while.
Yeah, he might not. It all depends.
Yeah. And all of a sudden nobody gets their garbage picked up because he uses Staff of Striking. No, anyway.
Yeah, see how that becomes a slippery slope.
Yeah, because now you got the mob involved and the Teamsters, and
It's just a staff. That's all it is. now you got people getting beat up on the docks. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Obviously, how to ruin your city campaign in one easy step. Give them a Staff of Striking.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, this is an all-purpose kind of temporary thing.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's always, like I said before, redundancy. Yes, I have a fireball. Yes, I have magic missiles and all this other stuff. But if I'm deprived of all that, I'm whipping this thing out.
Yeah, if there are just too many of the opposition to you, for you to like be able to cast spells, you got too many opponents in your face. Yeah, you just take this out and start laying into them.
And if you're facing the big bruiser who's leading the group, who's like an Orog or something, you're gonna put 3 charges in that thing and wail.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And with a +3 weapon, it makes it a little easier. I say just a little bit easier wield in combat because, because a mage's THACO absolutely sucks.
Yeah,
for
but
a
that
reason.
+3 helps, and
Yeah.
a couple of D6 +9 hits, and he's down.
I agree. And not to mention, you're up against that iron golem, and everyone's got +2s. Well, guess what you're using, sir?
And you always have something that is a magical weapon too, that's hitting things that need magical weapons.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
what? A ghost? Watch this. Boom.
Exactly. Full on? Are you there?
I would totally unload on things with the Staff of Striking because I love the Staff of Striking. I have non-mages who use the Staff of Striking because I want to do the I'm a staff fighter thing.
Yeah.
So that happens too.
Yeah. Yeah, you have Daffy Duck going on with a Staff of Striking.
Yes, you do.
Who keeps rolling once and hitting himself in the face, yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, haha, dodge, parry, dodge, spin.
Thrust.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm all for, I'm all for a little comedy. But
yeah. Especially when somebody is really bad at rolling dice, yes.
Yes, but yeah, Staff of Striking, good stuff.
Yes,
anyway,
without doubt.
What else can we say? What else can we say? We can move on. So let's head out into the snipe hunt.
Two fools who laugh at death. Do you know what horrors lie beyond that wall?
No.
Then you go first.
This world's divided into two kinds of people, the hunter and the hunted. And luckily, I'm a hunter. Nothing can ever change that.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
I'll swallow your soul!
Come get some.
Time for a snipe.
Snipe hunt. Carrion crawlers. Now, this is to me a, standard issue dungeon type monster.
Yeah, it's been in almost every monster list in rulebook going all the way back to BX.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, in my early days, I used to confuse it with a rust monster because they had similar MOs, just different effects.
Yep.
Rust monster would rust metal. Carrion crawlers would paralyze people.
Yes, this was a low-level party's nightmare. I mean, a first-level party's nightmare if they ran into a carrion crawler because they would have to look at the possibility of losing at least half the party to it.
Also, I was under the impression when I was younger that carrion crawlers are no big as, say, a large caterpillar, which is not the case.
No, they're 9 feet long.
And I thought that, I'd see them in the room. I said, they're not going to bother us. The name carrion crawler, they're looking for dead stuff.
Nope.
Let's move on.
No, actually, they do primarily eat carrion, but they will attack and kill living creatures. It says so right there.
I know it does, but I find that, to me, it's illogical. I thought they would be like the dungeon's version of vultures.
Yeah, they can go either way, but yeah, this was one of those where you're
more aggressive scavengers.
Yes, very much so. Okay, armor class 3 or 7. I think the head is 3 and the body is 7. Hit dice 3 + 1. Number of attacks is 1 or 8. Let's see.
The legs.
Yeah. Let's see.
They had the weirdest legs too.
I know. They even said it's like a cross between a giant green cutworm and a cephalopod.
I mean, how could they? I look at them going, how do they walk?
Very easily. Their movement rate is 12, so they can actually chase after you because they got a bunch of legs like towards just underneath the mouth, and then they have a whole bunch of legs like on the back end, so it can go like crawl across the floor, or it can raise up and use the back legs. Yeah. Let's see. They can move along walls, ceiling, and passages very quickly, using its many clawed feet for traction. When attacking, they lash out with 2-foot-long tentacles, each of which produces a sticky secretion that can paralyze its victims for 2 to 12 turns. Now that's 20 minutes to 2 hours, folks. Remember that.
See, I have on the top of my I hate things in D&D list is level drain. Paralyzation is right under that.
Yeah,
as number 2.
Yeah, I would say level drain, petrification, then paralyzation. Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, paralyzation.
You can't move, you're not doing nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no making some sort of signal with your eyes. No, you're paralyzed. You can't move. You can barely even breathe. So yeah, you aren't doing.
And these are also the go-to thing for when you have that party full of nothing but elves, and they're laughing at your ghouls. They do not laugh at carrion crawlers.
No, they
ghouls
don't.
Ghouls with carrion crawlers on leashes.
I like that idea. But yes.
Well, remember, your dungeon, part of the ecology of the dungeon, dead things turn into undead things. That's where you get your ghouls. And then dead things feed the carrion crawlers, who are your dungeon cleaning devices. Carrion crawlers, fungus spores and molds, and gelatinous cubes. They're part of every dungeon ecology for sweeping up the detritus.
Yeah. Or, the dead or the detritus. Exactly. You're right, full on.
That's right.
But yeah, so basically you get attacked 8 times. 8. 8 times.
Yes. 8 times.
Yeah, and they don't. And the thing is that the actual tentacles don't do damage, but they do that. You leave that secretion which paralyzes you. Now, they kill the paralyzed creatures with their bite, which inflicts 1 to 2 points of damage. But they will fight until everyone's paralyzed. So then, after everyone's paralyzed, then dinner. It's dinner time. Yes. So.
Well, you know what I like to do with parties of a creature with so many multiple attacks like that is, if they're new parties, I like the carrion crawlers to miss most of the time, but at least one hit that does something major. So the whole party go, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was one hit. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, this monster is the bane of first-level characters.
Just to show them.
Yeah, because you've got to remember, when you're running a first-level party, your saves are terrible. At the very most, you will have a 50% chance of avoiding a save if you're a cleric.
I also say this because, to cover my butt, because most of my hits for monsters are terrible.
Yeah.
So, you got 8 hits and I make 1, I'm doing good.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's been days like that. I roll like the 2s or 3s.
Yeah.
And then finally, boom, 18. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're like almost happy because now you're not missing as much. Yeah, I get it. And then of course there's the opposite where you couldn't miss to save your life and everything's at least a 17.
Yeah, and
your players are mad at you.
Yeah, it's a first to third level party, so whoever gets first initiative is probably going to triumph. At least in my experience with my players. I mean, if I get first initiative, they're hosed. If they get first initiative for some reason, it's just it's a dog pile. It's just.
Well, there's 2 solutions to that with the carrion crawler. That you have to remember. One is the number of appearing, which is more than 1.
Yes.
Second is the fact that, as insectile creatures, they are not just on the floor or in the hole. They're on the walls. They're on the ceiling. They're in the darkness. Those tentacles have reach.
Yes, they do.
So you can sit there and swing those long swords at the ceiling all day long, but all you get to attack are the tentacles. That fight lasts a while.
You're right.
I agree. Yeah, the number appearing is 1 to 6.
I just don't. I just think I don't. Maybe I just don't fight very good.
Well, when it comes to these
the
things,
carrion crawler is one of the first monsters that the DM has to experience the wonderful world of grab a fistful of dice, drop it on the table, cringe, and then look.
Yep. And that's one of the reasons why I roll my dice behind a screen. That's the only.
Dice.
Yeah.
Well, dice towers help.
Yeah, dice towers, screens, that kind of stuff. Because if you're rolling that out in the open and that carrion crawler hits somebody 8 times, guess what? Guess what? That character has to make 8 saving throws. That's how that works. With ghouls, with carrion crawlers, anything with multiple attacks that could paralyze, you have to make multiple saves. Oh, yes.
Well, you can also be a little more friendly with the fact that they focus their attacks on the thing they want to take away and eat. As soon as it stops resisting, they flee with their food, which now gives you an adventure of go rescue the food, a.k.a. the rest of your party.
Yep.
I would not look 8 hits. I would not make him make 8 saving throws. Say make 1 saving throw. Minus
no!
No. 1 saving throw.
Make a save for each.
Yep.
No. 1 saving throw minus 8.
Now, oh jeez. Now see, that's even more brutal.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, especially
except for the dwarf. That means the dwarves love them. Like, yeah, come on, poison me, dare ya, come on, hit me, slap me, I can take it. And the monks are going, ha, kung fu, fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. I parry, parry, and I body adjustment. You can't get me out of the way until you do, and oh crap. I've seen those fights. I've run those fights.
So have I. Very recently, if I might add, yes. Because, that's one of those, Glenn, you realize if you do 1 save at minus 8, they basically have to make a natural 20 to save?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, just making sure. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that fact.
Well, I just wanted to prove that I'm not a wimp, too. I'm not a wimp GM.
Oh, that's hilarious. But yes, like Full-On said, these are part of the sanitation crew of a dungeon.
Yes, they are.
They even say that a lot of different monsters use carrion crawlers, to clear out the dead bodies that they don't eat.
I mean, even if you're a troll, there's only so much crap, literally, you can take in your lair.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the Carrion Crawler 3000 to come clean your lair on a regular basis.
Or you
Tips are appreciated.
Or you
possibly ear tips, fingertips.
Or you could train the kobolds to just throw the stuff in a pit where the Odiug is.
Exactly. I was going to say.
That's the other one. I forgot one.
Yeah, the Odiug. Yeah, that's the one that's happy.
Those are more like
like
garbage disposals.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, dungeon garbage disposals. That PCs will go down into a pit of crap to fight because there's something shiny down there.
Yes.
At which point you have to save for disease, save for disease, save for disease. Why? Because you're rooting around waist deep in crap. Literal crap. Hoping to find 8 copper pieces and a ring. One ring to rule them all. But yes, a ring.
And we're not talking human crap either. We're talking troll crap. Who wants to deal with that?
Not even the trolls.
Exactly.
And then you have to
except
find
for the rock trolls.
And then you have to then I put down there an intelligent Odiug wielding a +3 staff of striking, but.
Hey,
there's the callback.
Polymorph other and shape change goes wrong all the time.
Yes, it does.
You take a staff master monk of the West Wind that someone decided to teach a moral lesson to and shape change him into an Otyug and threw permanency on it.
I can see that.
That's a harsh lesson.
Yeah, and he's a little angry because he's an Otyug, he has to subsist on crap. Talking about eating a crap sandwich. Yeah, exactly.
Now the question is, if you throw a carrion crawler down into the pit, will the Odiug eat it?
No.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, he won't eat that. He won't eat that. That carrion crawler.
Fight?
Well, that carrion crawler might actually coexist in a weird way.
It does occasionally. You'll find dungeon dwelling creatures that form that little communal bond of I know you, you know me, and together we deal with the food.
Yeah.
So
I thought they may have
symbiotic relationships.
I thought they may have a fight to the death over the garbage.
Well, No, well, yeah, the carrion crawler will eat the dead things thrown in there. Then the Odiug will just eat everything else.
You can imagine the carrion crawlers living in the Otiug like the clownfish living in the sea anemone.
Oh,
okay.
There you go.
And that makes for a pit you do not want to fall into.
No.
I'm telling you.
I believe
Not
you.
because I haven't done that to people in the past. A few times.
A few times. Okay. Wow.
They kept going.
Yeah, that's the thing about the party.
Okay.
That's the thing about adventurers. They will go after that shiny and they will bork themselves because they want it.
Okay. I'm pulling the plug on this segment because Full On has given out too many evil ideas. Along with yours truly. So
yeah, I didn't even have to go that far, but okay. Cool.
Carrion crawler, folks. Try them. And tell us about it. THACOShammer@gmail.com. So we are on to a new segment, Tomes of Legend.
In a world where adventurers do not follow the rule of burn all the books, you will find Tomes of Legend.
And there we have it.
Perfect.
A new intro.
Yeah, there's the new intro.
All right. I will let you work on that, Brian, while I edit this thing.
I'll take care. Yeah, I'll have it done tonight.
You have the audio.
I'm properly motivated.
Yes. Put some god awful reverb behind it and some good music.
Yeah, I'm going to drop his voice by like half an octave, and yeah. I'm going to slow it down slightly and put some real.
He's gonna put the Star Wars Cantina band behind that.
No, he's not.
I was thinking the Gummy Bear theme myself, but
just
okay.
Before I get a sound clip from that song, I am the gun of hellfire, and I bring you.
Oh man. Okay.
Full on gamer.
Yes.
No.
Oh, we've been doing this for way too long.
I'm the god of hellfire, and I bring you my assistant, Full on gamer.
Oh,
we have to keep him working or he'll take over. No, there's another mission. You can't stay here.
Oh, I was just about to say,
we were going what we were going to talk about. My throat's going. Is the Forgotten Realm books, the Avatar trilogy, which were also turned into modules.
Yes, they were.
It was which one was the first one, Tarantus or Shadowdale?
Shadowdale, I believe. Yeah, because it was
Shadowdale,
Tantris, and Waterdeep. Yes.
Right, yes. Shadowdale, Tantris, that's the order. Yeah. See, Tantris, I had not heard before that novel. I never heard of it.
Really?
The other two, Shadowdale, Waterdeep, I knew that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I knew about Tantris. Yeah. But yeah, okay.
But, I actually read these Sons of Guns.
Yes, I did too.
Times.
Along with the sequel, Prince of Lies.
Yes.
Yep.
And then there's another one after that, The Trial of Sirik the Mad.
Yeah. Which was better than the original 3.
Yeah.
It's another 5-book trilogy out of the Forgotten Realms for the win.
Yep. Exactly.
The author is Troy Denning, Reed TSR Committee.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they basically called the author's name in the back of the day Richard Allinson. Which was basically like all in one because it was like 3 different authors, including Troy Denning.
Well, see the thing is about those. I mean, yeah, they were okay and predictable. I mean, they ushered in the new Forgotten Realms.
It was the edition change for D&D.
Yep.
So for an edition change for D&D, they needed a pantheonic overhaul. So for a pantheonic overhaul, the Time of Troubles. Kill your gods, restructure your pantheon, hit reset, and press play.
Yep.
Actually, I thought it was a pretty good reset.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Fantastic reset. I mean, a lot of people hated it because this heralded the change from first edition to second edition, and God only knows on the various chat sites that go to involving D&D, if presented a choice between the first and second edition Forgotten Realms box sets, like 80% of them will take the first edition ones because they're not as built up. You know, there's more
Right.
the DM can do to put his own special spin on stuff. When second edition came around, they started filling in the gaps as they went. I mean, especially at Greenwood and Stephen Shend and a couple other people.
Hey, Ed always can because it's his sandbox.
Absolutely.
He can add any color sand to it you want.
Absolutely.
That's true.
I will never dispute that in 1,000 years. You kidding me? I want to play in a game run by Ed. I mean,
it's fun.
my former roommate was in one, and she absolutely adored it. And I was like, I am so jealous of you right now. But yeah, so
I paid money for that game. It was fun as hell.
Oh, you did it
Gen Con
too?
for the win. Yes. Oh, yes.
I didn't know that. Until you said something, I did not know that. Okay, cool.
He does play. He plays Elminster.
Yes, he does.
Oh, yes, he does. he is your dungeon master, Elminster.
Yep.
Right. Anyway, what I was going to say was, yeah, they did the restructure and all that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the books are concerned, the story is kind of weak.
I disagree.
Well, I think it was weak with some memorable scenes.
Okay.
The Kellenvor having.
Yeah, Kellenvor.
Who's the god of evil at the beginning? What's his
name?
Bane.
Bane.
Yes, Bane.
And Bane, he's in a cell, and Bane comes over. Dang it! Bane comes over and basically cures his lycanthropy by ripping the were creature out of him.
Yeah, I know. Wasn't that cool?
That was cool.
Hey, this is part of the powers of gods, and this is, you know, in the age of everybody in first edition always bragged about, today we went and killed Tiamat, tomorrow we're going to kill Loth. Let's go kill another god.
Yep.
So they decided to bring in the rules to bind and bound that with, okay, you're dealing with the gods or you're dealing with the avatars of gods, which are replaceable.
Yep, exactly.
Because the gods are a greater concept.
Yes.
But you know, I'm reading it. Okay. Oh, and then that happens. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's one way. That's one way to cure lycanthropy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the thing, of course, it was going to go that way because Bane was not gentle. You know, it wasn't like, you know, he got cured by Eldath or something like that,
You know,
where it would be like, I just
he
put
was
you
trying
in
to get
these
a minion.
waters. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody wants Soon to do the healing.
Oh, without a doubt.
But it's like
most of the gods want Soon to do the healing.
You know, he's chained up.
Except for the ones who won't admit they want Leviatar.
Yeah, that too.
You know, he makes, you know, he chains him up. He makes his werepanther come out, takes it by the neck, breaks his neck, pulls it out, and turns to him and goes, "Okay, now you owe me."
Yep, that's pretty much it. And I loved it. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is that,
and my other memory is the stairway up to the Pantheon with Elminster sitting on it and smoking.
Yep.
It's invisible. He's just sitting there in midair smoking.
Just watching the whole thing happen.
Just waiting everybody to notice.
Yep.
Oh, and the death of what was it, Helm or?
Yeah, it was Helm. Yeah, it was Helm.
Yeah, the death of Helm too.
Mm-hmm.
Storm, Helm, several of them went down.
Yep,
yeah.
They did, but they ended up getting brought back because the whole reason for this thing is that the gods had become arrogant. All of them had, and
now down to the planning go.
Yep, exactly. And
so saith Ao, who you are not allowed to worship, because the minute you become a cleric of Ao, we kill you.
Yeah, and it's not like you get any bonuses for being a cleric of Ao, because Ao ignores everything that happens on the mortal plane. Everything.
His toys are the gods themselves.
Oh, so
that's the only one he's interested in.
That he's Crom's father. Crom sits in his throne under the mountain, ignores everybody.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
By Crom.
But I mean, as far as the actual story, and I love the characters. I thought
the characters were good.
The characters were great. I mean, up until Cyric consciously decided to betray everyone in his pursuit of power, at that point I was like, okay, you know, I'm done with him. But I mean, the whole thing with you know, the relationship between Kellenvor and Midnight, The whole thing about, Midnight having to become the goddess of magic because Mistra had just she was completely done, and she was holding on until she
could get a replacement.
Exactly. Didn't she actually invest a small portion of her power in Midnight? Because all her
Yes.
spells, spells are like way out of league as to what level she was.
I think Elminster even told her that.
Yeah, towards the end. Yeah, and the whole thing is they're going overland, and while they're journeying, all these other things are happening. These other gods. I mean,
right.
Just the fact the Forgotten Realms comic book where they did the whole thing with Labilas Enerith, the elven god of time. Where his avatar got sent down to the Prime, and he actually was occupying his high priest's body, and then he had to learn humility because everyone was like, "You are a prick." This is the reason why you got sent down to the Prime in the first place, because you have lost what it means to be a god to your people. You are so wound up in your plots and your overarching things and your quest to obtain more power and more power and more power, you've forgotten what it is like. And
being an elf, yes.
Yeah, and being an elf on top of that, yeah. So I mean, and the fact that as they're journeying, as they go from Shadowdale to Tantris to Waterdeep, they are, first of all, the four of them we're neglecting what's his name, the former cleric.
The cleric.
Yeah, the cleric of Suni who got excommunicated because he got scarred. Which I thought was ridiculous.
But then he picked up another portfolio.
Yeah, at the end. Yeah, he became a priest of Mistra, aka Midnight. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which I thought was
healing everybody. Yeah.
Exactly. I thought that was justice. So, I mean, I didn't think it was absolutely fantastic, but the story in itself was
serviceable.
Good enough. Yeah, it served its purpose. Yeah, it served its purpose.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it was just entertaining enough to keep me reading. Entertaining enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm trying to remember the last time I read the trilogy was maybe about 4 years ago, maybe 5.
I mean, and then I went to Prince of Lies and was blown away.
Yeah, that whole thing.
About the Serana Shed and everything.
Serana Shad. The fallen paladin who's having to quest for the Serana Shad and also protect this one person, and
don't forget your were-badgers.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Oh, that one fallen paladin, didn't they put him in a suit of power armor or something? He was encased in some armor or something.
I think so. It's been
I
so long since I've read it.
I remember the prologue where he had to go fight an ogre, and he thought he was all badass with his god, and it turns out he wasn't really in very good stead with his god, and the ogre just made mincemeat out of him.
Beat the crap out of him, exactly.
And I love it. He says he goes up there, and the ogre just looks at him and goes, he just rolls his eyes and just swings his club and kills him.
Exactly. And that's how you know.
It's like, look at this idiot.
Yeah, that's
my God will protect me. Oh, my God. Bam.
Poof.
Yeah.
Protect this. Pow.
Hey, you did not want to be the first party that encountered a second edition Forgotten Realms dragon after the first edition Forgotten Realms dragon.
Yes, I
You
agree.
were in for a wake-up call.
Yep. Yeah, because
well, I went from basic dragon to second edition dragon.
Ooh, you skipped a step.
Yes.
Yeah, because that was the whole thing about dragons. Basic and first edition, they were glass cannons. That's what they were. And in second edition, all of a sudden, not anymore. Unless you have an ability to kick out 200, or not 200, but at least 100 points of damage in one round on one initiative roll, you got problems. But I mean, then after that, the whole situation where the trilogy came in through, then of course the adventures came through, and those were semi-railroady, but not really. You could go off the script a little bit and do things
Are you talking about the modules?
Yeah, the adventure modules. Yes, they weren't as railroady as Dragonlance was, You know,
I never read them.
I have them.
So,
I have them. But they're not quite. I think they learned their lesson from the Dragonlance modules and how you have 16
Matrix,
adventure modules.
not rail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they did. Yeah, it did a Matrix, not a rail. You're right, full on. Absolutely right. And then they came out with Forgotten Realms Adventures, which fleshed out all of a lot of the deities. Then they did it again with the Faiths and Avatars treatment several years later. It was. This was. They should have learned. TSR should have learned when they went from first to second edition. That's how you do it. You do something that's not earth-shattering, but earth-changing, but not so completely out in left field that's going to turn some players off.
And they should have just. I was going to say you should have just left it at that. You didn't have to do it again for a third.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the things that irritated me about that. Then they did it again for fourth, and then they decided. Then they decided to push the reset button for fifth. That's exactly what they did. They said, "Oh, spell play. No, I think we messed up on that. We're going to go back to sometime before third edition. That's where we're going to go."
Yeah, where you had didn't second edition introduce the wild magic?
Yes. Yeah, that was.
I like the way they no magic and wild magic.
Yes,
I like the way they did that in second edition. They should have left that alone.
Yeah, well, that was a direct result of the Avatar crisis. That was a direct result of it. And
when the Pantheon got fixed, it stayed.
Yes, it stayed. It stayed pretty much how it was. I mean, there were some deities that died. There were some deities that were killed. There were some deities that awakened. Yeah, they shuffled around a little bit. Exactly. I mean, the fact that they decided to make Mulholland more or less ancient Egypt. with a lot of the Egyptian deities being down there, and it's just I love it. It's craziness, but I love it. Go ahead.
And don't forget the Turmish.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the Turmish, which was more the Middle East / India. Then of course there was the Tuigan. That was more the Middle East.
Middle East horde.
Middle East
Tuigan horde.
Yeah, the Middle East
bordering Mongol.
Yeah, bordering the Mongols.
Was it Baldur who was the god of knowledge? Who was the god of knowledge?
Ogma.
Ogma. He stayed the same pretty much.
Yes, he did.
I always remember him at the end of Prince of Lies when Kel became the Lord of the Dead.
Yep.
And all through those books, it's like, Kel, snap out of it.
Yeah.
Come on. I never seen somebody with such low self-esteem before. And finally, Kel snapped him out of it at the end of that book. People cheering, the people that did cheering him, their new Lord. And he said, why me? And he just turns and goes, why not you?
Exactly. Because you're not like Merkel. That's why.
You're noble. You were a paladin. Yes, you had a curse, but you're a very good man. Why not you?
Yep. Why not?
Yeah.
And not only that, you get to actually see your girlfriend now. Think about that.
But that whole thing about putting people in the wall, you might want to rethink that.
Why
there's useless people. There's things to do with them.
Yeah. yeah. Even the useless can be of use.
It's the same kind of wall that you would find in the Tomb of Zusha from Sword and the Sorcerer. I like that wall too. It had purpose to freak you the hell out.
Yep. Exactly. You're exactly right.
Zusha of Delos.
I need to watch that movie again. It's been too long.
Anyway, you could probably is it still being published, the trilogy?
I think they did. Yeah, they did a reprint maybe about 3 years ago, maybe 4, maybe.
So they were also doing the compendium reprints of 3 books in one. A lot of the trilogies that they've published for Forgotten Realms, they republished as mega compendiums of 3-in-1s.
Yep.
Anyway, look for Shadowdale Tantris and Waterdeep, Time of Troubles trilogy.
Yep,
Great stuff.
Yep.
Fun read. If nothing else, it's a fun read.
Yep.
And don't forget there's 5 books in it.
Yes.
3, yeah. Well, let's just get them through the first 3 so they know what's going on. So, talk about THACOshammer@gmail.com, or we got a number, sort of. Yeah.
405-806-0555.
We didn't give that at the beginning, did we?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay.
No, we did.
Yes, we did. I'm the one who said it. Yes, we did.
As I close the Splat book amid arguing.
What else is new?
Oh yeah, well, just here's something that ain't new. Say goodbye, Brian.
And just remember, folks, if you're going to involve yourself in the affairs of gods, don't be surprised if you reluctantly become one of them. Well, reluctantly, if you're actually halfway decent, you shouldn't want it.
Yeah. Full on?
And remember, by the time you hear this, we're still going to tell you the same thing. Wash your damn hands and don't touch your face.
That's right. And I'm GM Glenn, reminding you, if you see a wall made of people, run away real fast.
Yes.
Oh, those are so awesome. You find one in the murder hole. Also a place held by Ball.
Oh, Lord. All right, we'll see you folks next time the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer. Bye-bye. You had to go there, Full.
I was waiting.
Yes, because I have stats for the living wall that's one of the encounter areas in the murder hole.
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at THACOshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at THACOshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.